Hello, Jimmy.
How are you doing?
Hello. Jimmy McMunn.
My long lost old pal.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I work for BCB at the moment, BCB Radio,
Yeah.
and I believe there's quite a lot of things that happened in your life that's affected you, and you look at life in a different way. So we'll basically start from the beginning. Just give me a couple of minutes introduction about yourself, how you came into England and stuff.
Oh. Well, I come to England in 1955.
Right, yeah.
I originally come from Northern Ireland. And we had a terrible time over there with religion and politics.
Yeah.
The two of them didn't mix at all. And if you were a Protestant, you would get a good job. If you were a Catholic, you would have got a bad one. I had no time for that at all. I couldn't have any time for that at all because I was only a builder, joiner.
Yeah.
And I come to London. When I got to London, things were completely different. From earning in Northern Ireland £4.50 a week.
Right.
I was on £25. I thought I was a millionaire.
It shows you, doesn't it? Yeah. Just
And I remember my brother Hughie saying to me, he says, now you've got a bit of money beside you, he says, you're going to have to get yourself a new suit made. And I went to Burton's and I'd measured up for a suit. I remember the guy was measuring me up. He tried my waist first and then he tried my hips and he says, oh, blimey. It was all the same, it's just like a sauce bottle.
Yeah. I know, Jimmy, we met about probably 10 years ago. You used to be my
more than that now, yeah.
used to be my next door neighbour.
That's
We
true.
got on fine, and the first thing that struck me was you're a man of the world, and you're interested into all sorts of things like the paranormal.
Oh,
And that was
yeah.
the first thing that's really got me interested in chatting to you. Paranormal. Just tell me a couple of things about paranormal.
Well, the paranormal, you see, this is something that's, I don't know what it means, but it means that it's not normal.
Yeah.
Do you remember the night that we used to lie down on the car park on blankets and look up to see the satellites going over?
Yeah.
And the rest of the people used to say, you're mad.
Yeah, all those houses in front of us looking at
That's
us,
right, yeah. But you see, the old UFO thing to me, like that from I've been a kid, 1948. I took my dad. He was a shoemaker, but he was working for the electricity board then, digging holes throughout the country when they're putting the Northern Ireland electricity through the country.
Yeah.
And he was digging holes when they put the poles in. And I remember it was on my birthday. That was 1948. I was on holidays from school.
Yeah.
And my mother took a jerry can of tea. Just take that away up to your dad, you know where he's working. And I paddled the bike away up. And when I got up there was three of us. There was three guys. There was my dad, George Hutchison, and Jimmy Rogan, all big and holes. And it was a really, really hot day. Like August times. And there was a little copse of trees. That means that maybe with 20 or 30 trees all growing together like a little forest. And my dad says, well, get in here into the shade and have the tea. And all others were inside. And as we were walking in, there was a silver ball.
Silver ball, okay.
Just like a little silver ball.
That's all, just going to stop that. You know about the silver ball, yeah?
Aye. We were walking in and the sun was shining on the sea and it just looked like a little silver golf ball.
How far was it? Away?
That was must be many, many miles away, up in the sky. It was right up in the sky.
Okay.
And it said to them, what the hell is that? And someone said, maybe it's the moon. Not in the middle of August during the day, you know, we thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
But we all went into this little copse of trees and we sat down having our tea. And within a few minutes of us sitting down, we heard this terrible noise above us. And I always thought that it was the same noise as if you emptied a bucket of water on top of a coal fire or a coal fire. There's a hiss and fizzling sound. Now the trees were all in full leaf.
Right.
But you could just see up to the top of it, and this thing looked up and this thing was above us, above the trees. And I jumped, as only a kid, and I jumped in for protection from my dad. It was just unbelievable. And he said, don't worry, it's all right. And all of a sudden it whistled. It was like a whistling sound.
Really? It was coming from this globe.
Oh,
Yeah?
definitely, yeah. And all of a sudden it just took off.
When you say took off, was it quite
Just and away.
find this ball? I mean, was any definition on it, or was it just a ball?
Not for when we were looking up through the trees. It was taken over a large copse of trees.
Right.
You know, and I had never seen very much. I'd seen the planes coming over during the war, but that was nothing like anything that we had ever seen before.
All right. So that's the interest of the paranormal.
That was my paranormal experience. You know, we couldn't tell anybody about things like that because my father was a bit of a comedian. Yeah. And you can imagine if he had told that to somebody, they'd say, "Oh, that's wee Kiwi taking the mick again," you know. So we never did tell anyone.
So since then you've been around the world and you met quite a lot of ufologists. Is there anybody that stands out, and is there anything you've learnt from these people?
There was Bob Dean. We met Bob Dean. Right. We saw Bob Dean actually first in Leeds. Then we went out
I went with you in Leeds, yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
That's right, it's very good.
Bob Dean was great. And then there was Dr. Stephen Greer. Now, Dr. Stephen Greer to me is the daddy of them all. He didn't talk very much about the Green Man or anything like that. He talked about most of the American government, right, and the secrecy behind everything. Yeah. He said that they were raping the people there by not letting them know exactly what was going on in this world. Yeah. And I'll tell you what it's proved itself today. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I borrowed the VHS off you a couple of weeks ago, and that's the first time I've heard.
Unbelievable guy. Like, he is a proper doctor.
He's a top notch. He knows his stuff. He knows all the military and
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bob Dean was good as well. But then there was Stanton Friedman. Stanton Friedman. Yeah. He's a physicist.
Is he
a nuclear physicist. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's still going yet. Yeah, very good. So that's just a few of the people. But I've got so many of the discs, not discs, the VHS of them from all over the world. And it's just unbelievable. All that sort of stuff there, a whole lot of it, man.
So, moving on from UFOs, my interesting subject is about God and life, what we are actually doing on this earth. Obviously, you've got the agnostics, you've got the atheists, you've got the religious people. So, as well as the paranormal, where do you sit inside when it comes to the subject of God?
God, the religious part.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be religion. Let's just think about nature, God, what we're doing here. You don't have to specify a religion.
I did, and you know, whenever I was listening once to Bob Dean, he said in one of his documentaries, "Who are we? Where do we come from?
Yeah, I remember.
Where are we going from here?" And he put it the opposite way around then as well, and he said, "Who are they? Where did they come from?" But he said the main thing is, who are we? Are we taken after them, or are they taken after us? And I thought to myself, oh boy, that's interesting.
It is interesting.
And I started to think long about that, of who we were, and where we were going from there. Bob Dean, he was just unbelievable. But he started onto the religious side of that documentary. And he got on about all the different things that could happen and were happening between our eyes, and we didn't even see it.
Is that the only time you thought about who we are?
I think that was because before that, you see, God and I, we weren't getting on too well together. Because I never went to see him, and he never went come to see me.
God and you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going back to the God question. So, in your mind, did you used to think there was a God, or you didn't bother searching, he didn't search for you, or were you a complete agnostic or an atheist?
Well, no.
But you didn't have time.
I wouldn't have that fear in me of being not believing in God. What I believed in that there was an almighty power, but I did not know what this almighty power was.
Back to the question of God.
Yeah.
I know you were into the paranormal and you talked a bit about Bob Dean. Now, God itself, where do you sit with God? Are you agnostic? Do you have any time for him, or are you an atheist?
Well, whenever I was younger, I had no time. You can imagine I come over from Ireland. We lived out in the wilds. They used to call us the Beverly Hillbillies. We were like Beverly, we lived away up in the mountains.
Yeah.
We didn't know our next door neighbours were a mile away from us. So we made our own fun together. There was 6 brothers and a sister. And we used to have our fun together playing cricket and playing football and all sorts. That was it. But whenever I come to London, it was so exciting. You never would have thought of it, God.
Yeah, it's like a new world. Yeah.
Oh, it was just a new complete world. I'd never seen a train before, or a boat,
Yeah, yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Life went on very, very good then, and I was earning big money.
Mm.
At the weekends you'd be out bevying it all the time, drinking all the time, you see. And 2 pints of beer was enough to put me on my back at that time. But that was it.
Mm.
But I went right through. I left the construction industry. My brother, Huey, he was a great joiner, and I wasn't a bad joiner either to do my job. But I thought there's got to be something more in it than this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I left them, and I went on to the construction side. And that means reinforced concrete buildings and stuff like this was going on. And eventually I joined a company in London, Bogus Construction, and they used to say then at that time, you know, if you're any good at all, they give you the shout. That meant that you were a foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah. They give you the shout. But eventually Bogus Construction did say to me, if you want to be trained, we trained you to be site management.
Right, okay.
And I thought to myself, well, if you're daft enough to train me, I'm daft enough to let you do it. But they did, they give me engineering courses and all that lot there. And I'm up to be a site manager for Bogus Construction. Nearly 40 years I give my life to them.
Right.
And it sounded quite good. You know, we went to different countries and worked for them. But the way it was, they give you a big salary,
Yeah.
company car, you went to a hotel, you're great. But boy, when they got you there, that was just, they bought you body and soul. You had to be able to jump at the slightest moment and go wherever they sent you.
Sounds like a really good career.
It was all right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it at the whenever I was a young bloke, you know. But as far as religion and stuff goes now,
Well,
but
fast.
then I come back, you see, to. I lived in Bradford.
Yeah.
I've been in Bradford for many, many years.
Yeah.
But I didn't know a terrible lot about Bradford because I only used it as a base.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was travelling away all the time.
Mm.
That's why today I don't
Yeah.
know a terrible lot of people in
Yeah,
Bradford.
yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
fast forward a bit. I did mention earlier on that there used to be my all next door neighbour.
That's true. Yeah.
And there's been a bit of a gap since we last met, and we met recently. I mean,
Well, that's true because my second wife died just after that.
yeah, I do remember.
The first wife, she died. She was an Italian,
Mm.
and she died. She had eaten poisoned mushrooms.
Right.
And the second wife, she died from a fractured skull. She wouldn't eat the poisoned mushrooms. That's only a bit of funny stuff in it. I've got to have that.
So just recently I bumped into you. I thought I'd take a visit to Jimmy's. As soon as I walked through the door, guess what I found? A Bible. And what's all that about? A Bible, Jimmy and a Bible in the same room.
Did you notice that?
Well, can you just put the camera there?
I couldn't believe that people had noticed that.
No, I didn't know. It's like an altar there, you know.
Did you?
Yeah. Jimmy and the
And
Bible.
that's just the same as your Quran then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Something,
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Amazing.
I couldn't believe that. Well, I suppose you'd like to know how that
Absolutely, yeah.
thing got started with
Yeah.
me. As I say, I live here on my own, and it wasn't very much exciting, like, but I go cruising a lot.
Yeah.
I worked for P&O Lines, which was Bovis Construction. They used to give us our cruises at 50% off, and I went cruising as often as I could. And it got me into the old cruising line.
Mm.
But I used to go doing it, and I was on my own a lot, you know. Fair enough, on cruise ships you don't mind because you're meeting people
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
But my sister Pat, over in Ireland, Pat is she's the rock of my life. She's my sister, and I love her every bit. Because I told Pat quite a few times, if you weren't my sister, I'd have married you. And she's just the same as myself, a
Yeah.
daredevil, full of fun,
Right.
but very religious,
Mm.
genuinely religious. She's not just a Sunday morning Catholic, she goes every day to church.
Right.
And I used to take her on an odd cruise now and again. And we had the life or Lily, we had a good one. And it was getting about January, February last year, and I was bored to tears. The weather was bad, and I said, rung her up and I said, do you fancy a cruise? Says I am fed up with this weather. Get away out somewhere hot. And she said, no, and she says, I'm going next week with the pensioners to Benidorm.
Right.
Oh, I said, that's me with my nose stuck out there. But she said, Christine, you know Christine, she says, your cousin Christine, she's going to Medjugorje in a fortnight. And my eyes, really, my eyes, or my ears popped up when I heard of Medjugorje.
You didn't know what it was though?
Oh yes, I did.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh yes, I knew, I had heard 20 years before it that the Virgin Mary was appearing to young kids there.
Right.
But I never thought anything more about it, but whenever she mentioned it I knew what she was talking about.
Right.
But I thought she was winding me up a bit, because she knew that I wasn't very gospel greedy.
Right.
I wasn't religious at all. But whenever she said this, I said to her, can you find out if there's any more seats? Can I go? Within about 10 minutes or quarter of an hour, she rang me back. Yes, she says the seat's going. Cut a long story short, I put a check in the post, and the next week, fortnight after that, I arrived in Medjugorje. Now that's in the old Yugoslavia.
Right. Okay.
Whenever the war was split up into 3 or different countries.
Yes. Yeah.
And we were going out through the whole country to this little place of Medjugorje where the Virgin Mary had appeared.
Right.
We arrived there about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Right through from Sept Airport, we went through by coach. And whenever I arrived there and I got out of the coach, I felt there was something so different about this place.
Right.
I could feel a presence. Really, I could feel a presence.
Like a spiritual kind
I
of
tell you,
feeling.
it's very, very hard to explain, because everybody seems that goes there gets exactly that same feeling.
And this is the first time you kind of experience this in a
Yeah,
foreign land.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we all got into our rooms, and the next morning we were going to Mass, 10 o'clock Mass the next morning. And down I went, and I never seen anything like this in my life before. There was thousands upon thousands of people
Open
clamouring
area.
for a position to get into St. James's Church.
All right.
The church was filled to capacity. There may have been every denomination you could imagine there. But there was so much peace and beauty and love about it. I came out of there, and the town itself, or the village, it's not that big and modern, but every place you went, people were so lovely to talk to you. You meet people on the streets, thousands of people on the streets, you know,
Yeah.
and you think you knew them all your lives.
What was the language barrier? What language?
No, there was the ordinary Yugoslavs,
Right.
which were there,
Right.
or Bosnian.
Yeah.
They were speaking good enough English,
All right.
understanding,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And all the other people, there was Americans, Canadians, Japanese, Pakistanis, Indians, you name it, Irish, English, Scottish, Welsh, you just meeting there, and everybody was so friendly.
Right.
But eventually, it had to come to Jimmy's setup. Jimmy was supposed to go to confession. Now that is the place where you make your peace with God.
Is this something you decided, or did somebody ask you to do this? Or
Well,
you thought
no.
you might as well do it while you're there.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was just one of the things, you see, and I hadn't been to confessions or communion. I remember going once when my mother and father died, whenever I went back to Ireland, and the only reason I went there was because if I hadn't have went, they would have all been talking about you if you didn't go.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And some would be saying, well, that Jim fella's a proper bloody heathen. See?
No.
I went then, but that was it, end of story. But we had a little fella with us from Belfast that run the trips that time. And he said to me, all right, Jimmy, he says, you're going to go to confession, I'm taking you. And he took me by the hand that he took me down to the church. Well, there must have been 50 or 60, maybe more priests all here in confessions. There was a row of confessional boxes where you went in, and there was priests sitting all around the wall. People sitting out in the car parks making their confession. I thought this is... I was taken up by it. I really, really, well, I couldn't believe this. But the boy said to me, "See, I'm getting you now a good priest," and I said, "Oh, fair dues." And I got a wee bit shaky at that time. Would it not be better now if I wrote all my sins down on a toilet roll and leave it?
There's so many.
But he introduced me to this priest, and he come from Dublin of all places. And when we sat down, we're sitting on a wall outside St James's Church, and he smiled at me and he said, "Jimmy, you and I have got this, we've got something in common." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I'm crippled with arthritis the same as you are." And we got on great there.
Yeah.
We got on great. And after the confession, it took a long time and dragging everything out of me. And at the end, I thought, I wrap it on and I carry on and I just do what I've got to do. It's not a hanging offence today, you know. And at the end, he gave me absolution and he said, "You're clear now. You know, you're in the grace of God." And I thought this is the first time for many years. And I did feel
a burden's been lifted.
A burden had been lifted off me, and I felt like crying. I did. I felt very emotional. And when it was all over, it was finished, and I said to him, "Well, look, Father," I said, "that's grand now." I said, "I'm walking away now, and you've taken all my sins on your terms." But I said, "Where do I go from here?"
What was next?
I said, "I don't know how to pray." I said, "You've got your things called the rosary." He said, I haven't done that." He said, "For 50 or 60 years." I said, "Where am I going to pray? How am I going to learn to pray?" And he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Son, before you leave Medjugorje, you'll know how to pray." Blessed me, and away I went happy. Now that was on the Saturday dinner time or so it was. And I went up then that afternoon to what they called the Blue Cross. I was on my own, along with thousands of other people, but it seemed to be the sort of thing there that you wanted to be on your own at times. To contemplate on your own, and I wasn't along with a niece or nothing like that. And I went up to the Blue Cross. Now this was supposed to be where the Virgin Mary had appeared to these kids the first time ever. And they got this Blue Cross, and they had like a statue of the Virgin Mary there in a little grotto. And I got in there and I was sitting in this little grotto, and there was people there from all different places, different denominations. They were singing hymns and they were praying and they were doing all sorts. And I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought, "Oh my God, this is fantastic." And I remember I had a pair of rosary beads, which rosary beads were something like this here, which you said your rosary on. And I took a pair of rosary beads out of my pocket and I hung them on the Virgin Mary's hand. Her hand was out like that. No, like Tommy Cooper, it was like that. And I hung the rosary beads over her hand. And I thought to myself, they belong to my dad. And I thought, maybe you would do better with them than I could. But before everybody had done their thing and they were leaving, and this woman came into the grotto, and she said, "I'm sorry, folks," she said, "but a friend of mine, a lady, has asked me if I'd recite this prayer to you." And she started to recite this prayer. And this is true. The tears will come out of my eyes now, because I cannot say anything about that. Every time I see it, I cry. This was my prayer. This was me to a T. And people saw me crying. That wasn't a shame.
It described you.
It just described me to a T, that I was sort of asking God for forgiveness. And she recited her prayer and away she went. And I rushed out afterwards because I said, "I've got to get that prayer." And one of our people that was running our trips, the trip organizer, I said to her, I says, "Where did that lady go?" I said, "I want to get the prayer of her." And she just pulled it out. She's there, Sept. I took that home, up to my hotel. I read it. I reread it. I cried. I reread it. Just unbelievable. I couldn't believe that was me.
Everything was coming out of your
Everything
system.
was coming
yeah,
out.
Yeah, all those years of hardship.
That's,
and,
this was it.
yeah.
And the unforgiveness and the bitterness and the evil pig that had been. Do you follow what I mean?
Yeah.
I must have been
Yeah, no,
evil.
Yeah.
No, I went to back up and I went to bed because, as I say, I've got arthritis. I was on walking sticks. And I got into bed. And I just lay there. And my niece came into my bedroom. And she says, Uncle Jimmy, are you coming down, she says, to the church tonight? Because Christ is down there on the Holy Sacrament. I said, no, I can't make it. I said, no way. I said, I'm crippled. Don't worry, she says, we'll pray for you. And away she went. And whenever she went out, I turned round, and I say I didn't know how to pray or anything. And I turned round and I started to talk to the Virgin Mary. I'm just saying,